Hey everyone, and this is my first video for the new YouTube channel for Optimal MTGG. I am your host, Havron, otherwise known as DJ underscore XCTF, and welcome. If you haven't seen my Twitch channel yet, and this is your first time coming across me here, you can find me on Twitch at optimalmtg underscore DJ underscore XCTF with my scheduled streaming from Tuesday to Thursday, 8 p.m. to 11 p.m., Friday from 8 p.m. to midnight, and on Saturdays from 1 p.m. to 7 p.m. I like to stream midweek a lot of Arena, covering draft, standard, and historic on alternating days. And then on Saturday, it's all MTGO. So either covering some leagues of either Modern or Pioneer, or if there's ever, say, like a cube draft. And which I decided for my first draft, for my first video being uploaded, figured I'd take things a little easier as opposed to serious. So find me out next week, and I'll be uploading weekly videos of leagues covering decks from Modern and Pioneer. Or, if people want to see Arena videos too. But for now, we're going to jump right into something fun, the Supreme Vintage Cube Draft. So, if you aren't aware of the Supreme Cubes in general, they're usually consisting of, I believe, 18 packs. Every pack is always a fresh pack of 15 cards, except that you get to take 2 picks from each pack. And then after all that is done, then you build your deck from that. As you can see, Vintage Cube, you would expect, yes, it's very quick, very fast, or it's very slow, depending on, if your deck is built to be out of the gates really quickly, or if you're just there being straight control mode, trying to time twister and whole breach your people to death. So, let's get to it. So I'm just going to hop right in. And hopefully we'll see where we go. And, great way to start off the stream. Make it very exciting. We're going to start off with Black Lotus. And I think the other pick I want to take here is Ulamog. Now, if you aren't aware of the cards in this cube, or even in general, older cards, you could be a newer player, watching this stream. Or you could be a, franchised player that's been playing around for 20 years. But for the sake of the newer players, I'm just gonna cover up these new cards just because we got 2 minutes per pick, so why not? So Black Lotus, obviously a very notable card, one of the most notable cards in history for Magic. It's just 0 mana artifact. You can tap it, sacrifice it. I mean, you get to add 3 mana of any one color, which is very powerful. Especially, we're a Vintage Cube. This is a very powerful effect. And I'll be honest, this kind of cube wants to be very fast. So if you find Black Lotus, it helps you a great amount. Elesh Norn, very mid-range card. Not the card you want for this type of cube, but it's 5 white for 4/7 vigilance. Creatures, other creatures you control get +2/+2, and then your opponent's creatures get -2/-2. Very, easy effect. Then we got Land Tax. It's a white enchantment that at the beginning of your upkeep, if your opponent has more lands than you in play, you then get to search your library for 3 basic land cards, or up to 3. Usually you want to grab them unless you want to avoid discarding. And then you get to put them in your hand. You have to reveal them though and shuffle your library. Ulamog, very straightforward card. It's big, it's powerful. 10 mana for a 10/10. When you cast it, exile 2 target permanents. It's indestructible. And whenever it attacks, you get to exile your opponent's top 20 cards out of the library. We got a fast line here, white-black. I guess maybe. Oh, actually, I don't want to do that. Let's not. Do that. But basically, we could always read out the cards that are most notable. I think I'm better off doing that. So we're just gonna submit this. I'm gonna take those 2. All right. So what do we have next here? Also for this cube, you want to draft a lot of artifacts if you can, because a lot of these artifacts create a lot of mana very quickly and very fast. So here, I just want to make as much mana as possible, so I'm going to take Ancient Tomb and Grim Monolith. Grim Monolith, 2 mana artifact. It doesn't untap during your untap step. However, when you tap it, it makes 3 colorless mana. And it has another ability of 4 to untap it. So it's pretty nice, you know? For the turns that you need it for quick mana, you can tap it, and the turns that you don't, you can just find a way to untap. It's very simple. And then you have Ancient Tomb, which is a land. You know, you can tap it for colorless, so 2 colorless. And the downside of it is it deals 2 damage to you, but a lot of times damage isn't going to matter, as if you're going quick and fast, you're just going to blow your opponent out of the water with 1 swing with like an Ulamog. Or maybe not 1 swing, this will take 2 hits, but realistically that's kind of the way for it. If these weren't here, the more notable cards I would say would be, say, Jace Vryn's Prodigy. You can tap it to draw and discard. In Magic turns, that would be called looting. And if there are 5 or more cards in your graveyard, you can exile Jace and bring it back into play as it's flipped Planeswalker mode. And that's called Jace Telepath Unbound. Comes into play with 5 loyalty counters. You get the +1. Up to 1 target creature gets -2/-0 until your next turn. So that's pretty good when you're attacking. And it also prevents them from attacking as their creature is weaker. You get the -3. You may cast target insert or sorcery card from your graveyard this turn, which we normally call the effect Flashback. If that spell would be put into your graveyard this turn, you get to exile instead. And then you get -9. You get an emblem with, whenever you cast a spell, target opponent mills 5 cards. Mill just means take the top 5 cards from your library and put them into the graveyard. That's it. But we're gonna submit these 2. I think also I would have considered this Birds of Paradise. Pretty self-explanatory on the card. Green 0/1 for a flyer, and then add 1 of any mana color. So we got some pretty powerful cards at the beginning here. I think we can follow suit now with an Ulamog. Well, the other Ulamog. And because they don't... So, because they don't have the same exact name, you can have both in play at the same time, which is very convenient. Yeah, so here we're going to take Ulamog. What it does is it's 11 mana for a 10/10. When you cast a spell, destroy target permanent. It's also indestructible, but this one has Annihilator 4. So Annihilator is that when this creature attacks, the defending player sacrifices that many permanents. So they would have to sack 4 permanents. And then when Ulamog dies, or goes to the graveyard from anywhere, from the deck, from your hand, it shuffles your entire graveyard back into your deck. So it's very convenient. And I think the other card here that I'm going to take is, I might take a Treachery, but I don't know. No. It's either that or I take Final Elves or Dig Through Time. I have not decided the base amount of mana that I want to use yet. I also don't know if I want to be playing Forests. Or if I just keep it clean and safe and just take a Dig Through Time. Yeah, unfortunately I don't know which direction I'm going yet, so it's kind of awkward. I could also take a Yawgmoth's Will, which it's 2 and a black sorcery, that until end of turn I may play lands and cast spells from my graveyard. If a card would be put into your graveyard from anywhere this turn, exile that card instead. So it's basically it's basically flashbacked in all your lands and spells for the time being, but obviously you can only play 1 land a turn, so really you have to abuse it for the land part, you have to have cards that allow you to put more than 1 land in a turn. I could take that, make a little bit of a Stormy deck, but maybe I just play it safe and take the Dig Through Time and just take those 2 cards. It's very powerful. Okay, so here, yeah, I mean, I could realistically make it a bit more powerful. Fortunately, in Sister Vision, a little too slow. It will pop off on turn 5. But the idea is that it allows you to draw 3 cards. Or if your opponent has 3 cards left in the deck, you can make them draw 3 cards on their upkeep, and then they deck out. And then they lose. But realistically, we're going to take a Dark Ritual here. I think it kind of suits well for what we're trying to accomplish here. And I have no issue with an Ashiok Nightmare Weaver. This can be pretty effective. If you land it and your opponent has no way to deal with it, you can start cutting the amount of cards from their deck. Especially if you exile some creatures. So it's colorless blue black, 3 loyalty counters for a planeswalker named Ashiok, +2. exile the top 3 cards of target opponent's library. Then you get the -X to put a creature card with converted mana cost X exiled with Ashiok Nightmare Weaver onto the battlefield under your control. That creature is a nightmare in addition to its other types. I wouldn't say that the creature type really has any relevancy. It's more that if you +2 and you nab yourself Birds of Paradise, you now can -1, being the X, and put the Birds of Paradise right into play on your side of the field. So it's convenient, but at the end of the day, you just want to exile all your opponent's cards from your deck. So we're gonna take these 2 cards. Not really feeling the rest of these. I mean, I could take a Breeding Pool, but I'm not gonna say that I'm interested in yet. But I do like the fast mana. Fast mana, kind of works, so let's do that. Following up, there was a Golos here. Golos is interesting. It's a 5 mana. Golos Tireless Pilgrim, 5 mana artifact creature, 3/5. When Golos enters the battlefield, you may search your library for a land card. Put that card onto the battlefield, tapped, and then shuffle your library, and it has the lovely effect of 2 white, blue, black, red, green. Exile the top 3 cards of your library. You may play those cards without paying their mana costs this turn. It's a very strong effect. However, it's not realistic that you're going to get these off. However, if you do have, say, some kind of important utility land, say like a Tellurian Academy, which taps and makes blue mana for each artifact you have in play, or other lands that are special, and it's a decent inclusion, but I'm not really gonna take it. I think I want to take Tinker as a way, if I have a lot of artifacts, I can then get a good artifact back into play. So Tinker seems nice, and maybe a Spellseeker, as it kind of follows along with the blue plan. Can't say that I'm really interested in anything else. Maybe a Scrubland, but don't really feel it. Or it could be Tinker Golos. Maybe. Tinker Golos might be okay. I do know, but I want Tinker. You know what? Let's take Tinker Golos, because at the worst it grabs me a land to help me get closer to some of his spells. So let's do that. Okay, well, Water Grave's nice, and I think Lotus Petal is what I want here. Very quick, very easy. You could always do Karn, get a card out early, reveal the top 2 cards of every, one of them being very good, one of them being really bad. They'll give us the bad card, and then next turn we tick down to find the good card. But yeah, so 4 mana for 5 loyalty Planeswalker named Karn, Scion of Urza. +1, reveal the top 2 cards of your library, and an opponent chooses one of them. Put that card in your hand and exile the other with a silver counter on it. Then you can -1 to put a card you own with a silver counter on it from exile into your hand. So as I said, you get the bad card at the beginning, you get what you want afterwards, and then you get -2 to create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. So it's constantly growing, constantly dropping. But yeah, Lotus Petal, Watery Grave seems like the best 2 options here, since we seem like we want to be in blue-black. I'm not necessarily into the whole reanimate situation right now, but we will continue with this portion here. So let's nab that. Heyo! Here's an Emrakul Aeon's Torn. And I guess here we'll just take a Dimir Signet. Really all we want is a lot of fast mana. Again, so we can churn out the fun. What I am looking for now is a card called Sneak Attack, or ways to cheat in these Eldrazi. So Emrakul, famously known Eldrazi, 15 mana for 15/15. It cannot be countered. When you cast it, you get an extra turn after this one. So you take an extra turn. Then it has flying, protect you from colored spells. So as long as it's a spell. If you cast a card like Oblivion Ring, it comes into play immediately, and then it targets, so it means it can get rid of it. But as long as it's a spell that's on a stack, it cannot be targeted that way. And as Annihilator 6, so when it attacks, it makes your opponent sacrifice 6 permanents. And the same thing as the other Ulamog Infinite Gyre, when it dies, shuffle your entire library back in your deck. So it's good ways of stopping your opponent from milling you out. And the Dimir Signet is 2 mana for an artifact of 1, tap it, produce blue-black. So very convenient. I'm going to take those 2. Here, I guess we'll take another Dark Ritual. So this is what I was talking about, a utility land. Make it a little bigger here. So it's Guy's Cradle, legendary land, tap, add green for each creature you control. So if you're drafting, you know, a bunch of those elves and ways to make lots of mana for a big endgame, this is the card you want. Unfortunately, it's not what we want. However, I will like to take Dark Ritual and Narset, Parter Veils. I could take Dack Faded, very powerful, but I think Narset for this specific deck, so we don't branch out in too many colors, is a lot better. We want to stay straight blue-black if possible. Maybe find Show and Tell, which allows us to cheat a card into play. Or very minimal red, if possible. So Narset, Parter Veils, colorless blue, 5 loyalty. Each opponent has a static ability of each opponent can't draw more than 1 card each turn, and adds a -2 of look at the top 4 cards of your library. You reveal a non-creature, non-land card from among them, and put it into your hand. Put the rest on the bottom of your library in random order. So this card works very well with a card called Time Twister, where it's 2 in a blue, sorcery. Each player shuffles their hands and graveyards back to their deck, and they draw 7. But this prevents your opponent from drawing more and more cards in a turn. So you end up with 7 cards in your hand, they end up with 1. It's straightforward, very convenient. So we're going to take those. And here we go. We hit the Motherlode. Mox Emerald to add to our Black Lotus. So 9 packs in, we have a Black Lotus and now a Mox Emerald. With this card, I am going to take a Thief of Sanity. This card is a colorless blue-black. It's a flying 2/2. 2/2 flyer, sorry. Whenever Thief of Sanity deals combat damage to a player, look at the top 3 cards of that player's library. Exile one of them face down, then put the rest into the graveyard. Then you may look at the cast that card for as long as it remains exiled, and you may spend mana as though it were mana of any type to cast that spell. So it could be a green spell, and I have no green lands, but I can still cast it for as long as that card is exiled due to Thief of Sanity. Even if Thief of Sanity is long gone, yeah. Even if Thief of Sanity is long gone, you can still cast that card. So I'm going to take these 2. I'm pretty happy with that. Ooh, Channel. Oh, I do love me a Channel, but does not work here. It might be best if we take Thoughtseize Preordain or Narset Preordain. Unfortunately, the Eldrazi are not artifacts, so a card like Tinker does not work for us right now. I might end up having to cut it. Might also end up cutting this Golos, I'll be honest. Yeah, I'm gonna cut Tinker and Golos at the moment. I could also cut Dig Through Time. But yeah, Preordain's very good. Narset would be very good. Allows us to find all this setup. Also, having multiple of these effects prevents us from getting opponent has Narset also in play and they go Time Twister. It keeps the playing field even. So it's a good proactive card, also being very good on the reactive side. So let's do that. I mean, there's also Poetic Ritual, but we already have Dark Ritual, which is kind of the better ritual. However, Poetic Ritual is better if you find a sneak attack. But, you know, I'm not gonna... I got 2 cards here that are worthwhile for me, so I'm gonna hop into that. Next. Okay, so we can take a... See, now we have the ability to splash red reliably. As we have a Scalding Tarn. There's a Badlands here, but I'm more inclined to take Force of Negation. So Force of Negation is a card here that's colorless blue, instant. If it's not your turn, you may exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay its mana cost. But realistically, what it does is it counter target non-creature spell. If that spell is countered this way, exile it instead of putting it into its owner's graveyard. So on your opponent's turn, it costs 0 by exiling a blue card from your hand. on your turn it costs colorless blue. So it's a good trade-off. But yeah, Scalding Tarn is very nice because at least now we can take future dual-colored lands that have, say, black-red or blue-red attached to them. Or just any blue land that has any other color attached to them. So, but this Scalding Tarn allows us to fetch this Watery Grave, which is nice. So I'm going to take these two. Hey, look! Another Mox. So we'll take a Mox Pearl. And we could take High Tide, actually. High Tide being base blue, mostly just islands, to go off and cast these Ulamogs or Emrakul really early is very effective. I would rather take the High Tide here, just because, you know, if we find it, we go off. You know what? Let's do that. I'm about that. So basically, High Tide is blue instant. Until end of turn, whenever a player taps an island for mana, that player adds an additional blue. That's it. And then another Mox. This one taps for white. The Emerald taps for green. So we'll take this. So submit. Next, ooh, perfect. So we got a Mana Crypt, makes more mana. We can also take Urza. Urza is a good way of cheating these Eldrazi into play while not having to branch into another color. We do have to give up land, but realistically, we have a way to tutor it up if we want, and we're going to be mostly islands anyways. So I think these two are perfect. Mana Crypt, 0 mana, tap it to make double colorless, and at the beginning of your upkeep, you flip a coin. If you lose the flip, you take 3 damage. Nothing too crazy. And then Urza, Lord High Artificer, is 2 blue for 1/4. When Urza enters the battlefield, you create a 0/0 colorless construct artifact creature token with this creature gets +1/+1 for each artifact you control. You can tap an artifact you control to add blue, and you can pay 5 mana to shuffle your library, then exile a top card. Until end turn, you may play that card for free. So, pretty dope. I like it. We're going to take it. Okay, so where do we go from here? So, I mean, a good, quick way of, unfortunately, so I feel like this is one of those things where it's, Consecrated Sphinx could be very good or could be very bad, depending on how many cards your opponent is drawing in a turn. Luckily, it does have the ability to give you the option of where you want to draw 2 cards. So basically, it says here, 4 blue, so 6 mana for 4/6 flyer. Whenever an opponent draws a card, you may draw 2 cards. So with the may option, it prevents you from decking out. That's pretty much it. Because if you were forced to, it would be much worse. But because you have the option, you can choose to draw more cards if you want to or not. And I think here, we're going to take a Misty Rainforest as another way to kind of just fetch up more basics or whatever duels we may find. So I'm fine with that. Yeah, I'm not a particular fan of taking Thirst for Knowledge. Just because there are cards in here that we don't really want to ship away. But, yeah, we'll take these two. And, yeah, I mean... we could have a million Eldrazi and just look out with a hit off Urza. And remember that we cast that card. So, if Urza hits an Eldrazi, we cast it and get their effect. Kozilek Butcher of Troops is 10 mana for a 12/12. Whenever you cast a spell, you draw 4 cards. It's a lot of cards. 4 cards. If it has Annihilative Force, when it attacks, your opponent has to sacrifice 4 permanents. And again, the ability of when this dies, or it goes to graveyard from anywhere, its owner shuffles a graveyard back into their library. So I have a million ways of shuffling my cards into my library now, which is great. And I don't really need to ship into another color yet, so possible that I just take Mana Leak. It's a good early counterspell to prevent your opponent from kind of going off like too excessively. So it's just a colorless blue instant counter target spell unless its controller pays 3. It's very simple, very clean. So I mean, that's the other side of the format is if you haven't really done your thing on turn 1, then at least you can make a bunch of free mana and just counter your opponent's play. Stop. To just kind of give him a little speed bump, you know? Alright, so here's another Dark Ritual. I'll take all the rituals. I'm fine with that. And I mean, here's a Tinker target. It's not a good Tinker target, but it's a Tinker target nonetheless. It's either that or we take Brainstorm. I think I might be more inclined to go Brainstorm Dark Ritual. All the other cards seem very medium to me. If I want a Tinker target, I want either a Mindslaver, which is an artifact that allows me to take control of your opponent's next turn, or a card called Blightsteel Colossus. So it's 11 mana. It's either 11 or 12 mana. I don't remember, but it's 11/11 with Trample and Infect. So Infect is when this creature deals damage to anything, it deals in the form of -1/-1 counters, right? Or puts poison counters on your opponent's life total. And then if your opponent accrues 10 poison counters, they immediately lose. But yeah, so we're going to take this. Brainstorm is a blue instant, draw 3, put 2 cards back from your hand on top of your library in any order. And because we have fetches, we can always shuffle those 2 bad cards away, assuming we put bad cards away. So let's take that. Ugin. There's an Ugin. And it's a Force of Will. I like Force of Will. I think we're going to take Force Will and Underground Sea. Particularly what I'm trying to do here, I don't particularly want Ugin. I mean, Oracle Engine is a good Tinker target, but kind of want to solidify my mana base here as well. Have more cards that I can fetch. Make my black access better so that I don't have to counteract my high tide count. So yeah, I think best cards here are Underground Sea for us and the Force of Will. So blue black, Island Swamp, fetchable, dual, and Force of Will, 3 blue instant, counter target spell. But you can also pay 1 life and exile a blue card from your hand rather than pay the spell's mana cost. So clean, simple, easy, boom. Alright, so let me introduce you to Hullbreacher, which people are apparently saying is the best card in the cube. So it's 2 in the blue for a 3/2 Merfolk Pirate with Flash. So Flash means that you may play this card on your opponent's turn. You can play the creature at instant speed. That's all it is. Then if an opponent would draw a card, except the first one they draw in each of their draw steps. So after they draw for the turn, if they draw another card, then instead of them drawing that card, you get to create a treasure token, which is a artifact token that has tap, sacrifice this artifact, add 1 mana to your mana pool of any color. That's it. It's very good. What to pair the Hullbreacher with is the question, though, and I think that's going to be a Vampiric Tutor, allowing us to be able to. So Vampiric Tutor is a black instant. Search your library for a card, then shuffle your library and put that card on top of it, and I lose 2 life. But you know what? As I said, life total doesn't really matter. You know, I said the same thing about Ancient Tomb. Realistically, the life part doesn't matter as much as long as you're kind of doing what you need to do. So being able to just I would love to grab an Urza and just slam it, or grab, you know, High Tide and just pop off, grab whatever piece I need to kind of keep pushing forward. So these 2, good, along with a Narset. You know, it's another way, it's another Narset effectively for us. So let's take these 2. And that's it. That's the draft for us. So because we have a good amount of quick mana, we can afford to play 15 to 16 lands. I would be more inclined to do 15. So minus the 5 lands we have right now, that puts us at 28 cards, 28 spells. And so we need, in a 40 card deck, we need 25, so we need to cut 3 spells. So what is worthwhile to cut? And I think it's possible we just cut these black cards in the effort that we have to side in potential options. I think here we just want to go with the quick plan of just ramping things out as fast as possible. So we just need to cut one more card now. And it's possible we just cut the Consecrated Sphinx, unless we just do that on turn 1. But I don't think we're going to get a Consecrated Sphinx out on turn 1. We could. What's the worst card here? I don't think we can get away with 14 lands. Or it's possible we just need to cut one of these Eldrazi. Question is, which Eldrazi is the worst one? Maybe drawing 4 cards is not exciting. Maybe we just want these 3. Also, just don't want to get them stuck in our hands too often. So, I'm okay with starting with this. Even though, actually, you know what? No, but that kind of cuts out on the blue cards in the deck. Let's add basics first. 8 and 2? I guess that's fine. Yeah. Actually, you know what? Let's go crazy. Let's just add this stuff and then just pop off with, like, the very expensive Eldrazi. That might be fine. Alright. So let's submit this. Let's save it. And, yeah. Alright, and welcome back to the start of round 1. We have an opponent. We have won the die roll, so I will decide to go first. And I will gladly keep this hand. Doesn't have anything specific to ramp into just yet, but it does allow us to have a good kind of early setup. Being able to throw as many cards as possible from our hand right into play early before our opponent tries to do the same thing works out. So we're going to go Island, Mox, Pearl, Mana Crypt, and we have Force of Negation to stop them from doing anything messed up as well. I am going to preordain here. I mean, that's more effective. Force Will, don't particularly want that one. I'm going to ship those to the bottom. That's a Dimir Signet, so I'm going to tap Mana Crypt and play it, and we will pass the turn. Okay, so let's see what our opponent is up to. Oh, sorry about that. There was a recording issue. So we're back. Okay, so opponent just played Island. That was it. So we're going to have our turn now. We're going to flip. So let's say Tails. We want to flip, so we took no damage. So that worked out. Here's an Island. I'm just going to brainstorm. Top 3. Okay, well, I didn't really do anything for us. So Island. Dark Ritual back on top. This actually is pretty bad for us now, but we'll play the Black Lotus. Hope we can get through this. It would have been nice if we found a fetch land to be able to fetch everything away, but so be it. Okay, Mox Ruby. Okay. So they played Mox Ruby. So our turn. Hopefully we take no damage. We want to flip again, so that's great. So there's another Dark Ritual, but fortunately we're going to do nothing this turn. We still have an Island to draw, and then the next turn we can find something better. So our opponent's just kind of doing nothing. Island on the mountain, Mox Ruby. Let's just say Tails again. I mean, realistically, we could say heads. No, we lost flips. So we took 3 damage. No big. So we'll play the island. We'll pass the turn. And hopefully our next draw is very good. Because we got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Plus a million mana. So if we get Final Eldrazi, we can cast it. Alright. Moment of truth, tails. We want to flip. And island. Okay. So as I said, you know, either people are trying to go really fast, as you can see what we did, or they're just taking their time and doing nothing. But my opponent also mulled to 5, so it kind of makes sense that they didn't have anything crazy. We want to flip. It's 4 flips 1 versus 1 that we lost. So here we go, Lotus Petal. I'm just going to keep passing the turn till someone does something. Okay. Opponent is looking to go off now. We cannot counter that. That is unfortunate. Urza slips under. We needed that Force of Will, not Force of Negation. Okay, so let's take 3 more down. Yeah. Oh, I won the flip. Sweet. Now there's a swamp. I didn't think 15 lands would be too many lands, but now opponent's gonna be able to cast stuff off Urza. I'm not looking forward to this. Yeah. Okay. So we'll take 4 here. Alright. 1 to flip again. That's great. Ooh, Hull Breacher. I guess that's fine. Okay, opponent's casting a Preordain by using Urza's ability. So they scryed, put 2 cards on the bottom of the library. So they didn't like those cards. Here, I'm going to cast Hull Breacher and attempt to block Urza. No, they're going to do that. Well, we're going to counter it with our Force of Negation. Hopefully that works. Perfect. 4 mana. Commit. Okay. That's fine, I guess. Yeah, the one downside of Mana Crypt is the fact that if they actually start attacking us, it doesn't work out in our favor. Yeah, so we're at 6 now. Oh, we're locked out. Okay, so this game didn't really work out for us. I mean, our starting hand was fine, but it did not come together. That's a signature. Well, I mean, we can't do anything now. Are you gonna Urza activate? We have to fade 2 mana. We have to fade Mana Crypt triggers now for the rest of the game. We're at 1. Yeah. Yeah. We died to our Mana Crypt. Alright. So that was game 1. What did we learn to move into games 2 and 3 if we managed to get to game 3? We learned that Ashek's probably good here, and they're not doing anything particularly significant. So that and Thief Insanity probably take out the Brainstorm, as that kind of locked us out. We didn't even draw any of the Eldrazi either. But I don't want to hop down 14 lands, so maybe take out a Narset. Okay, let's submit this. It's a lot slower. I think we can do better, but opponent didn't really look like they were going off either. So maybe we could get away with a few sending and just kind of go from there. So it's risky. Actually, you know what? No, I have them all. Okay, well, I'll keep this ship and island. Opponent kept 6. Sorry, opponent kept 7. So we go island, Mox Emerald, and Mox Pearl. Pass the turn. Hopefully we draw some action in the following turns. I don't want to mull to 5 in this scenario. So they have a Soul Ring as well. Signet. So they're going off a lot faster than last game. It's a Mana Leak, so that kind of helps us. Hopefully they try to ram a Mana Leak down our throat. Ram a Urza down our throats. 4, no, it's just an Experimental Frenzy. So we're going to try and counter that one. Perfect. That's gone. Probe. I'm just going to 6. F6 turn, because we had no action. There. Oh. Maybe I should just cut these Dark Rituals. Just get off that plan. I don't know. Double Soul Ring. So yeah, that's the other side, is that we could have a very average deck. Okay, there's a Lotus Petal. Or you could have like a busted deck. My first time drafting Supreme Vintage Cube, I had 4 Black Lotuses and 4 different Moxes. That's a fun time. I 3-0'd very easily. That's a Grim Monolith, so that kind of works out. I just need 1 big creature. Opponent's just doing nothing. I don't know what their game plan is. They just went Urza and attack. So we just got hard cast Force of Will now. I can cast any amount of draws if I just draw 1. Okay. That's a Hull Breacher, so I guess I'm just going to cast it at the end of their turn. Hazoret. Hazoret's fine. I don't think it particularly does anything. But yeah, so we're just gonna cast Hull Breacher. So they're gonna hard cast Force of Will? No. Okay. I don't know what they're trying to do. Cryptic Command, draw a card. Alright. We will... I have to give up the pedal. Actually, I don't have to give up the pedal. Just tap Monolith in these 2. And we'll counter it. Sweet. Resolved. Hull Breacher. Alright. That's a Scalding Tarn. I'm just going to fetch up an Underground Sea. And I'll attack for 3, as they have no way to block it. That is an aggressive card, though, so they could easily just pitch 3 cards on their hand and attack. Okay, Burst Lightning is dead. So they're more on the control side. Got it. Okay, so they're still doing nothing. Alright, I'm gonna untap Grim Monolith. Okay, draw something great. Another island. Ah. Alright. What are they doing in a turn? For pitching. Oh. Oh no! So Exarch does exist in this cube. I didn't think it did. I've never seen it. I always see Twin, but I never see the Exarch or Pestermite. Wow. Am I getting Twin? Wow, I just got Twinned. Alright. Well, that happened. Okay. Alright, and welcome back to round 2. So, okay, this seems fine. We actually have a fair amount of action here that we can get off in turn 1. We go Island, Mox, Grim Monolith, pass. Okay, so Island, Mox Emerald, Grim Monolith, and hope they don't do anything crazy. Luckily here we can force will pitching to Mana Leak. Alright, so they did nothing, they just went Rainforest. High Tide. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. 6 mana. Nothing to do just yet. Okay, so they shocked. Vampiric Tutor. That's fine. Whatever they try to tutor, we'll just counter it. Mana Crypt's fine. Oh, Tinker. Well, here I can just Mana Leak it, actually. Just Mana Leak that. Pay 3 more. Perfect. So they lost their Mana Crypt, which is great for us. No fast mana for them. Really wanted to cast that Narset. Of the times that I had infinite islands, and now an island in a swamp. Alright. So, they seem to be everywhere in colors. Oh, 5 color. Alright. Coalition Relics is okay. Doesn't really do anything against us. Here's a Mox Pearl. Now we're at 7 mana. But still no second blue to Narset. Yep. So, what Coalition Relic does is that it's 3 mana artifact, tap it to add 1 of every mana color. You could also tap it to put a charge counter on it. At the beginning of your main phase 1, so pre-combat main phase 1, remove all charge counters from it. Add 1 mana of any color for each charge counter removed this way. So, if you tap it to add a counter, it's just a delayed effect, basically, on your following turn to add mana, but they did nothing with it, so that's fine. Oh, there we go. Watergrave, pay 2. We're at 8 mana now. We're 3 away from this blue long. So I'm going to tap that for a blue. And play Narset. Blue, blue, white. Let's see what they have. Because realistically, we can force will pitching the High Tide to deal with any form of counter on their end. Just waiting to see what they are doing. Okay, they're letting you resolve. That's cool. So I'm just gonna look at the top 4 cards of my library. Mana Crypt will. Oh yeah. We lose on the Urza though, but that's fine. Mana Crypt is just good enough for us, so I'm gonna take that. I'm gonna play it. I could wait till next turn, but probably better for us to just play it now. Endure the potential 3 damage our way. but should be fine now. Actually, kind of works out for us now that we can tap this for a blue for a high tide, and then this creates 2 mana. So 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 10. Oh, we're still 1 off. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Fractured Identity. Yeah, that's something I will have to counter. I cannot afford to let them do that. They have their own force. That's fine. That's okay. Yeah. Yep. I just have to hope they don't reveal a Time Twister. Oh, they have their own Narset. Alright. Narsets onto Narsets onto Narsets. Okay. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. I need 1 more mana. I want to flip. Oh, perfect. So, Dark Ritual. And then 3. So, 6 mana, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. Okay, Ulamog. I should just destroy the Coalition Relic, right? Or just destroy the Watery Grave? Actually, I'll destroy the Watery Grave. Put more strain on their Coalition Relic. But now they have to worry about this Ulamog. Okay. Yep. Alright. Ancestral Recall, that's fine. They play Nylon. They're going to draw 3, which is okay. Hopefully they don't have a Path to Exile. Or a way to deal with the Ulamog. But also, if they don't do anything this turn, they're going to lose 4 permanents. Yeah, they conceded. So... yeah, it really wasn't anything specific for us to worry about, per se. Except for Fractured Identity, which will be kind of awkward and annoying if they hit one of our... At least Fractured Identity can't deal with Emrakul, but it can still target the Ulamogs or the Kozilek's Butcher, which I cannot say I'm happy about. So we'll have to tread carefully. But we should be fine. If we get something off early, then they can't catch up, mana-wise. So... this also might be a matchup where we can just Thief of Sanity them. So, let's do that. Yeah. Yeah, this seems fine. Okay, we'll keep. Wizard Heath. Mana Crypt. Emrakul. Okay, so Mana Crypt. Yep. Forcing early? Well, no. Okay, what are they doing? Mana type! Alright, I guess I have to throw away our, Oh, it's my turn! Oh, I'm gonna lose it. Wow. I just got Mana type! That's also a card, but I didn't know it was in the cube. Okay, well... this is going to be a lot harder for us now. Okay. Wow, that feels bad. That feels horrible. Alright, at least they took 3 damage. So... Slayer Academy, okay, so they can make 4 mana right now. Hey, Time Twister. Actually, I might be okay with that. Let's just get... know what? I'm just gonna get that tapped. I'm okay with this. I'll let the Time Twister resolve. Sure. Hey, look, Hull Breacher. Okay, Ancient Tomb pass. But at least now I have Forcible, which is much better than a Force of Negation. Oh, he lost the flip again. Wow. Okay, we might just win that way. Okay, so they're kind of worried of their life total now. Which makes sense, but yeah, we're going to cheat in this Hull Breacher. See if we cannot produce a little more beatdown. Okay, so they're not dealing with it. There's a Force of Negation, which is good for us. Here's another Scalding Tarn. I'm just going to crack it now, get an Underground Sea. And then we're just going to attack him for 3. Huh. Just gonna mana leak that. I am gonna lose a mana, but that's okay by me. Okay. Mana leak, my mana leak? Wow. Actually, I'll just do that. I'll pay it a 3. Yes. Okay. Cool. Yep. Hit him for 3. Pass turn. Come on, lose never flip. Ah, oh, darn it. That would have been a big game changer if they lost the flip there. At least we still have Force of Will holding up Force of Negation. Ooh, Narset. Extra protection. I'll take 2 more, it's fine. I think my life total is less relevant than theirs. Sure, I'll look at the top 3. Signets. Just do that. Play a Signet. Attack for 3. Hopefully they don't have a way to block it. Yeah, perfect. Put him to 5. Pass the turn. Okay, please lose the flip. Ah, they won the flip. All right. But yeah, they're definitely in rough shape. But that's good for me. Okay. Cool. Yeah, let's continue on the Narset plan. High Tide. Let's take a High Tide, I suppose. Another card we can pitch to either Force or Force either Force. So let's attack. One of these days I'll cast an Urza. So they know about the High Tide in my hand. They're at 2. Okay. Win or lose the flip. Ah, they lost the flip. They're dead. All right. So we won that round. So we're 1-1. So let's... All right. And we are back for round 3. So... opponent seems to be on the plate as they won the die roll. And... oh, this Brainstorm is going to kill me. At least we have a Mox, High Tide, I suppose, but no action. But maybe Brainstorm will find something better this time. Alright, even though Brainstorm did me in last time, I'm gonna run the risk and see if it redeems me. Okay, that's a Brainstorm. So let's go Island, Mox. You know what? That's actually very convenient. We could turn one Narset. I'm kind of okay with that. Turn one Narset. And then we can actually then do the whole Brainstorm Narset action too. So that's a decent thing. Okay, so Prismatic Vista crack. Blue, get an island, that's fine. Okay, so we grabbed a replacement Narset. So we're just gonna pass turn. We would like to F6, but don't want to indicate to my opponent that we have no responses for now. Yeah, so I'm gonna go Underground Sea. I'm gonna go Brainstorm. Okay. I guess I can send back the High Tide and Island. Play a Black Lotus. Play the Mox Pearl. And crack activate Narset. Hot 3 islands, High Tide? Okay. Oh, good thing we got rid of all of that. We'll have 6 the rest of this turn, as I don't think they're going to do anything crazy. I think a lot of the time, unless it's massively board impacting, we don't want to counter what they're doing at the end of their turn. Sorry, at the end of our turn. We're more inclined to counter stuff that they're doing on their turn. So, you grabbed a Watery Grave and shocked. Brain Freeze. Okay. I hope they're ready to... Oh, they milled themselves. Oh. Okay. Wow. They've got... They have a fully loaded deck here. Now, this is the craziness I've talked about, you know? So, we got Mana Crypt, Mana Drain, Time Walk, Ancestral Recall. Well, they have passive plays, but that's not as relevant. The Besieged Skydiver, not as relevant. Lotus Petal. They have an Ancestral Recall, another a Mana Vault, Black Lotus. Wow. They just hit all their big stuff. Kind of curious how much longer I have to live against this Storm deck. Okay. I mean, I can agree that they drafted a very good deck. They got very lucky with their packs. And an Ashiok. Oh. I am so in trouble. Yeah. What'd they hit? Island, Mana Crypt, Dark Ritual? Okay. Give me something good. That's an island. That's not great. Okay, let's fetch. Grab another island. Just Narset. I'm gonna look. Ooh, Vampiric Tutor. How good is that for me? That might be fine, actually. Because that's what? Black. I can make 3 Black Lotus. No. No. Well. At the end of... Depending on what they exile, at the end of their turn, I'll be able to Vampiric Tutor and then grab whatever imported cards left in the deck. Oh, they only exiled Urza? Oh, that's perfect. Okay. So yeah, Vampiric Tutor. How much mana do I have access to? Because if I Black Lotus for triple island, triple blue, right? Then I use 1 for the High Tide. Then that makes 2, 4, 6, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. 12 mana plus this. 14 mana? Well, what do I get for 12 mana? I guess I can cast an Ulamog Ceaseless Hunger to exile Ashiok and Watery Grave on the spot. It's probably the best option for me. I don't think I care about the others. I just want to get Ashok off the board. I don't know if they have another one, but this seems like the best option. If it exiles the rest of their deck, they can't deal with it. So, alright, we're in for it. Okay. Let's draw it. Island. Let's look at the top 4 cards first before we... Ooh, mana leak. That's what we can do with the extra mana. Okay, so fetches for 3 blue. High Tide. Okay, so crack. Ulamog. Exile. I mean, at this point, it doesn't particularly matter if Ulamog resolves, but it would be nice if I can resolve this Ulamog. Yep, you made blue-black. What do we have, opponent? Oh, they're just making mana. Okay, that's fine. Does Ulamog resolve? Ooh, cool. It's indestructible, so you can't destroy it. You have to exile it. Dark Ritual, sure. Don't know what you're going to use with the mana. You're going to commit. I mean, yeah, it does stop it. Yeah, I can't, Yeah, you got me. Hey, that's fine. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. That's Mountain. I wonder if I could get there in time to cast the Ulamog again. Yeah. What do I draw? Ooh, Swamp. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. I'm just 1 mana off. Okay. Well, hopefully I race them. Hopefully I get to mana leak this. Yeah, I think they're looking for mana. They're missing land drops, so there's the Ulamog. There is it. Rearing its ugly head. Ah, sweet. Okay, cool. Land. Map. Yes. Watery Grave. Dark Ritual. Yeah! Alright. So we won game 1. They realized Ulamog's coming down. Gonna exile a red source and a blue source, and then pretty much it. Pretty much game over. So here I didn't see a Time Twister. I did see cards that I would like to cast off of Thief Insanities, so I think that's fine. The Brainstorm Narset worked out very well, so I think this is fine. Yeah, this hand's fine. I'm okay with it. As long as our opponent doesn't go crazy, I think it should be good. Okay, so tapped Watery Grave. We draw Ulamog. Okay, so okay, so Mox Pearl. And Underground Sea. Okay. Okay. Ooh, island. So, and a thermal hull breach. See what they do. Mana drain. Yeah. I mean, that's good. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. We'll just go Ancient Tomb Pass. Okay, as long as they don't do anything insane here, we can Vampiric Tutor into Urza maybe? Okay, so it made nothing on the mana. I mean, if that's the case, we also still don't really need to do anything, so we'll just keep going. Okay, so Dimir setting up the Ancient Tomb. I'm okay with the damage. And then I'll play Watergrave tap to pass the turn. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 mana at the moment. 8, 9, 10. So next turn we can Ulamog. That's a Knight's Whisper, sure. Draw some cards. Yep. Okay. That is an Ashiok. Yep. Okay. They hit 10 mana Ulog and exile Mox Emerald Brainstorm. Okay. Ooh, Mana Crypt. Swamp. Okay, so we have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Let's go Dark Ritual. Ulamog. Alright. Destroy Ashiok before it wreaks any more havoc. We also have black mana open for Vampiric Tutor in the future. Now they have to go. Now they have to do stuff, or they're very much in trouble. They have to commit right now. But even if they commit, I can still just grab and put it back in my deck, right? They can always commit in response. Like, that's a thing. Okay, Thassa's Oracle's fine. Okay. So they will scry 2. They'll leave one on top and then put the other card on the bottom of the library. Yep. Again, I don't think I need to. Well, maybe here's the best time to do it. Yeah, maybe I do need to. How much mana do I have access to right now to do anything else? I have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So I have Kozilek Butcher of Truth. Yeah, that's 10 mana. Yeah, I'm gonna do that. Okay, so let's not die to my Mana Crypt. I lost the flip. Alright, so I'm at 11. I would have liked to have not taken so much damage, but whatever. Okay, so we're gonna attack. Okay. Yeah. Wow, okay, so. Alright, so they're gonna take 10. Then we're just gonna cast this one and draw a million cards. So we'll take 2 damage off the Ancient Tomb. We'll draw 4 cards. And now we have Force of Will exiling Thief of Sanity if we need it. Island, because I don't want to take any more damage. But I'm pretty sure my opponent's going to concede here, because there's no way they're able to come back from this. Yep. Mock Sapphire as well. They just had everything. But we were just a step faster, but now I'm okay with that. Finishing this at 2-1. 2-1's a free entry, so I'm about that. Yeah, they can draw all the cards they want, but they're not getting out of this, as we have Force of Will into Thief of Sanity. So I'm hoping it works. Yep, recall again. That's okay. The sad thing is that they can try brain freezing me, but they're gonna hit my Emrakul. As I have 3 Eldrazi that shovel themselves back into my deck. Probably one of the most powerful things you can do is just a lot of the mana ramp plus additional ramp like Dark Ritual and one big gigantic creature just to try and end the game. Okay, just watching my opponent try to finish off this game. I hope they try to brain freeze me. I really do. I won't counter the... Well, I mean, I can counter one copy of the brain freeze, but it's not worth it. They have 3 recalls! Triple Ancestral Recall. Wow, this person had an insane draft and not going to be able to cap off a 3-0. I feel a lot better now that I'm able to overcome. And yeah, there's the Black Lotus we knew about, but 3 recalls plus High Tide. Wow, my opponent really did it with their deck. Yeah, we're just waiting for them to concede. Yeah, I mean, we pretty much executed what we wanted to do. Just make a bunch of mana, cast these Eldrazi, and have backup. And that's pretty much, that's Vintage Cube for you. Well, Supreme Vintage Cube, where it's a little more constructive based as opposed to the normal Vintage Cube draft, where it's one pick, you know, one copy of a card. Yeah, I mean, you can will, that's okay. I really don't know what you're trying to pull off, but it's fine. Yep. I do hope they try to brain freeze me. Okay, Frantic Search. But yeah, their deck is definitely super loaded. Mana Drain, triple Ancestral Recall, Black Lotus, Mock Sapphire, Time Walk, pretty much everything under the sun they have, from what it seems like. And I guess their brain freezes their win con. They're not trying to... Actually, ooh, I hope they don't Tendrils me. Actually, I should counter the Yawgmoth's Will. It's bad if they Tendrils me. Kind of hope they don't have Tendrils. I hope their only win con is brain freeze. Sure. They're just gonna draw the whole deck. Okay. I'll learn my lesson if they... I'll have to learn my lesson if they Tendrils me. Yeah, my only worry here is Tendrils. Yeah, and I don't even think I can... I don't think I can Force of Will now because they have Mana Drain open. It's also possible they don't know, but I have a million Eldrazi in my deck. So they may think that they can get away with Brain Freeze. And I'm certain they would have tendrils me already if they had it. Yeah. Manifold. Oh, sure. Inquisition, yeah, that's fine. Take my Thief of Sanity, now I can't cast my Force. Not like my Force would have stopped whatever they're trying to do to end the game. Oh, I guess they could also Thassa's Oracle to end the game too. Oh, that's a thing. Yeah, that's a thing. Okay. Okay, alright. Yeah, I should have countered the will. Oh, that's gonna bite me. Hopefully they don't see it. Okay. I mean, they can just Oracle anyways. Yeah, I messed up. Crap. Alright, we'll go to game 3. I messed up. Okay, so we don't want Thief of Sanity. Not in this matchup here. Yeah, I think we just want all Narsets to prevent them from that. Alright, so let's go back. We'll be on the play. Okay. Yeah, I think we can keep this. This is fine. Okay, so Island, Preordain. I'll keep both. So top, play Mox Pearl, pass. Yeah. So they either take Hull Breacher or Narset, but we're going to be able to stop them from drawing a bunch of cards. And that's what we want to do. That's the plan here. I wonder if they just take the Monolith. As I'm not able to cast anything else realistically right now. They don't know about the island on top. Oh, they did the Brainstorm. Wow. Sure. Narset might be fine. Narset, yeah. Maybe Narset now, and then Hull Breacher later. Mox Emerald. Play Mox Emerald, pass. My worry was using Monolith now to cast Hull Breacher and get it countered. I don't know if Mana Vault's fine. I don't know if Mana Drain's the only counter they have. So rather to get the Narset down than worry later. Okay, so Narset into another Narset. Okay, so we'll go Emerald, Pearl for a Monolith. Okay. And I think that's good for now. If they try to remove something, then in response we can go Hull Breacher, but I don't want to tap this Monolith unless I have to. Okay, so Baltimore, no action. That's fine. So I'm not going to commit Hull Breacher if I don't have to right now. Hey, Black Lotus. So, cast Black Lotus. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. Oh, I can do that. See if I can get away with it now. So black, black, black. Dark Ritual. 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. 11. Ulamog. Destroy Manifold. Sure. You can draw one card. Okay. So you're gonna lose a Manifold. Okay. So now they have to deal with this Ulamog, or they're dead. Well, not dead, but they lose all their permanents in play. As they can no longer draw cards for the rest of this turn because of Narset, they have to remove it before they can. So I don't know if they'll be able to deal with Ulamog and Narset. Yeah, they conceded. So that's it. That's the end of it. So let me just quickly show that it's done here. Yeah, it doesn't capture the outside box here, but it says it says here 100 play points. Until I can figure out a better way to be able to show this stuff as opposed to just the DJ_XCF wins the match. Pretty much that's it. So just turn the details. You can see how I performed here. So I lost round 1, but managed to pick up the pieces by winning round 2 in 2 and round 3 in 3. And that's it. So just to recap the deck that I had drafted, you know, it's not too bad. 15 lands, got Ancient Tomb, we got 8 islands, 2 swamps, Misty Rainforest Golden Turn for fetching, Underground Sea, Watery Grave for more lands that could be fetched. We got Black Lotus, Lotus Petal, Mana Crit, Mox Emerald, and Mox Pearl. Oh, we have Brainstorm, High Tide, Preordain, triple Dark Ritual, just for that big mana boost to cast one of our big creature spells. We'll see in a second. That Vampiric Tutor for tutoring wherever we need at specific time. Mana Lake for early speed bump. Dimir Signet, Grim Monolith for more mana production. Hull Breacher to prevent us from getting time twisted, as you saw. Narset was able to reliably deal with their Ancestral Recall. Double Narset, by the way. One can find the other pretty much. Able to find Force of Negation as well. Got Urza, which we didn't really cast, but it would have been dope if we ever got to cast it and activate it. We've got Force Will in combination with the Force of Negation, so opponent has to kind of play the guessing game. But most times we would rather the Will versus Negation because this hits everything. Got Kozilek, Butcher of Truths. We have Ulamog, Ceaseless Hunger. We got Ulamog, the Infinite Gyre, and Emrakul, the Aeon's Torn as our top end finishers. More realistically able to cast the Ulamog, Kozilek, or other Ulamog. Emrakul is just kind of, you know, a explosion of riches at that point. And I think Emrakul is probably better, more suited in decks like Sneak Attack. So if you draw it, you can just put it into play. It's harder to be like, I'm gonna Urza into it. You know, you'll get it sometimes, but realistically, you want to put this into play more frequently than not, and that's either through Show and Tell or through a Sneak Attack effect. But yeah, I mean, that was pretty much it. You saw, we conquered for the most part. I wouldn't say conquering, but round 1 was kind of unfortunate. But yeah, we managed to get everything back up and running and finish 2-1. So thank you for being here today. I figured I'd just put up a casual fun video of Supreme Vintage Cube draft. It is up, I think it's up on Magic Line until the end of tomorrow. So one more day. But otherwise, if you liked this, if you liked what I produced today, then come by my Twitch at optimal mtg _ dj _ xctf, and you'll be able to find me. So until then, have a good one. Bye.